In this video, we're going to go over the answer to the virtual background picker app. So what we're going to do here is we're first just going to copy over our code from the prior exercises. This is just some boilerplate code to link to the style sheet. This links to a JQuery so that we can use JQuery in our JavaScript file here. And then I also went ahead and found some images online that we can use for the actual website. So these are some images that we're going to be using for this. You can download your own images. It's just important that you make sure you know what your images are called because that might be different if you use different images. All right, so we're going to minimize this a little bit. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to start building out some of the HTML. So there's not going to be much here. Sorry, so this is going to be virtual background. We're going to use a form for this one. There's a few different ways you can do this. I think form is probably going to be the easiest for our purposes. Right, so what this is doing is we're creating a form. It's going to be a drop-down menu. It's just going to have this select with each one of these options. So each option is going to be a different drop-down option that you can select from. We're going to give it the ID of background pick. That way we can easily use jQuery to select and then take action with that selection. So that's probably all we're going to need for the index.html. So I'll go ahead and make this a little bit smaller. And then we can go into our index.js file. So there's a few different things we're going to do here. The first thing is because we're going to make this list dynamic, we're going to create a list, and we're going to call it backgrounds. And you could have, just done this in your HTML, but again, because we're trying to make this dynamic, we're going to append this list of options to here rather than spelling it out here. But that would have also been an option to do as well. So we're just going to do a few, and this is going to correlate to the images that I picked. So obviously, if you have different images, you can call these items different things, but this is going to be a list of options that the user has to select from. All right, so now they have a list of different options to select from. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have this dynamically populate what the user sees. So right now, if we go to the site, we're just going to have this virtual background picker, and this select background is what we had in the HTML, and you're going to see there's just that one option. It's not very interesting right now. What we're going to do is we're going to go in and we are going to create a for loop so that we can loop through the backgrounds list and dynamically populate the virtual background picker. And so what this is going to do is it's going to be a for loop. It's going to start off with 0 because lists, as you remember, the first value is always 0, not 1. And it's going to keep on incrementing through it until it gets to the length of the list, which is backgrounds.length. Each time it iterates through this list, it's going to use the JQuery method append, and this is spelled incorrectly. Use this append method to append this HTML to the ID background pick, which is going to be here. All right, so one other thing to note, so this is HTML, which is similar to this HTML option here. And when you have the single quotations, you can get out of it and use the plus sign, which then concatenates this variable, which is backgrounds, and which is the list backgrounds, and takes specific element from that list, which is element I, and then concatenates it with the rest of this HTML. So this HTML is going to read for the first one, option, NYC, option, and then insert it here. So if this works correctly, then when we go to our site, we should see a number of different options. So let's see if this actually worked. At first, it did not work. So let's see what we did here incorrectly. So first thing, make sure I actually save the files. All right. So that all looks correct. See, this is actually linking. Let's just do an alert here to make sure this for loop is actually running. And let's try this again. Looks like that is not running. At the beginning, see if this file is even connected at all. Okay, so the file is connected. All right, did I misspell something? Our backgrounds. Let's do this to see if this is wrong. So I'm gonna do backgrounds. Just gonna type in 0. See if this is actually working. So that's working. So we do have backgrounds. All right, so what is broken? Hashtag background pick dot append. Looks like everything is spelled correctly. Yeah, I'm gonna try putting in this document ready thing. I don't think this will do it, but it's good practice to do this anyways. See if that works. Still have that on. Nope, still not working. Save backgrounds. Working. so it looks like this code is just not running for some reason. Yeah, this is just not running. So there must be something wrong here. Let me double check to make sure I got the syntax right for this. And do JavaScript for loop. And get W3 schools here. See if we got this correct. For I, so maybe that's that bar. No, that's there. Take this out. Make this is 6. Now that's working. So it must be something with this background length function. All right. So this background.length function is not working for some reason. What did I do wrong? Here we go. There is no parentheses. There we go. Okay, that was unnecessarily painful for a second, but we will just continue on as if that never happened. This is what happens when you're a little rusty on your syntax. All right. So I'm going to change that back to there and just refresh the page to make sure nothing broken in the meantime. Okay, there we go. And we're back. All right. So now we have the list of different options. So the next thing we want to do is we want to create a function that's going to change the actual picture. So we're going to call this set picture. And we're going to So this is basically going to get the value of this background, make this a little bit bigger, of the user input. So when the form changes, we have to create that button, but I'll get the value and set it equal to the variable background, and then change the background. And this is actually not going to be for that; it's actually going to be for the entire web page. So it's going to change the background for the entire web page to the class of this. So what we're going to then have to do is first we're going to create the button, the jQuery button. So we're going to say